Hi guys, Nettie here from Nettie Gaming, and this one today is all about the arcade club in Bury. Decided that it was time Jim had a little visit, so we've come here together just to have a little look around and have a little play. So the arcade club in Bury, if you haven't been before, you've definitely got to put it on your bucket list. It is 4 floors of absolute awesome, full of games old and new, which is exactly what this channel is about. So I'm not going to consistently talk all the way through the video. I will dip in and out just to tell you some little points, little bits, in terms of what we found, as it was different from the last time we first attended. So they've moved around a few things, so I'm just going to do a bit of an update on my old video and point some stuff out. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. We didn't really get to play very much on the first floor, mainly due to the fact that I think Jim was in love with the 4th floor, but there is so much to get through. We booked an 11 till 11 time slot. The traffic was abysmal up the M6 for us, so we didn't really get there till 2 p.m, so we sort of did 2 p.m. till 10 o'clock at night, so but still didn't get to manage to play everything. But Jim did have a go at this. Pac-Man on the first, well, the ground floor, I should say.
Sugar is gold. Select an upgrade. Ready? Let's play for Ellie. Let's get ready.
And as you can see, there is a new section that wasn't here when I last attended, and it was purely an adults only area, which was pleasant. I was worried they'd actually gotten rid of all the pinball machines. No, they haven't. They've removed them from the 3rd sort of floor, and or 2nd floor, should I say, and moved them down here. So there's a couple of pool tables as well. Well, you can see all the pinball machines around, and then some special arcade machines as well. I must admit, these do look like the arcade machines that do get looked after. But this room was pretty awesome. On almost every floor, well actually on every floor there is a bar, so you can get drinks. The food is on the top floor there. We did keep coming down to this floor, to the adults only section, because Jim liked the beer. So yeah, we were frequenting this room quite a bit. And that's it for the ground floor. Now over to the first floor. So this has a lot of the sort of arcade ball games, the hoop games, things like that. A little bit more manual. And again, some dotted around the place there are one or two retro cabinets, but this is largely where the big sort of shooters are, like the Mission Impossible game, the House of the Dead. You've also got things like the Xbox Ring, and then you've got the Switches on the big screens and things like that. One thing we did like over here though was the Outrun arcade cabinets. We did have a go in the Star Wars Battle Pod, but Jim over there, but Jim did feel a little bit sick, so that got stopped after a short while. So we soon stopped playing that, but we did come back to revisit the Outrun sort of car games. So they were really fun. Even somebody like me who isn't particularly good at those sort of games, I found them really enjoyable, and I loved the fact that you could race against one another. That was really fun. So had a good time with that. So that Mission Impossible arcade machine, that was really excellent fun. We played that while waiting for the queue for the House of the Dead, but it always seemed to be absolutely packed and was never free for a moment unless you were fully willing to queue for half an hour, which I did. To my disappointment, we never got to play it, which was a bit of a shame. Moving on to the second floor, this was sort of where the Japanese imports were, a lot of rhythm games, things like that, those big washing machines, which is actually quite fun. else that I loved is there was lots of artwork dotted over the place, all over, in the corridors and on the sort of walls, and music, things like this, and it was just really, really great fun. More fun than you realise, and then again a few more retro games dotted around the place. An area where there was a lot of fighting games. I've seen Guitar Hero appear as well, things like that. So yeah, we didn't really spend too much time on this level, if I'm perfectly honest, mainly due to the fact that Jim doesn't really play a great deal of rhythm games or Japanese imports and things like that, so a shame really. Maybe we'll give it a little bit more attention next time. We really were trying to use the time that we had to focus on the games that we really loved, though there were one or two that we tried that never really played before, but yeah, we didn't really spend a lot of time playing the fighters and things like this. Oh, now here's an interesting thing. This was a Japanese game where you sort of flip a table up in anger. So funny. And then of course the harder that you flip the table, the better you score. So that was a bit of harmless fun. And again, more rhythm games dotted about the place with a few driving games as well. Another Time Crisis. I know there was one on the 4th floor, but there was one down here too. And again, another bar where you can get refreshments. And of course, we now save the best for last, which is the final floor. Not arguably actually, it's without a shadow of a doubt mine and Jim's favourite floor. Full of 80s retro arcade machines, and this is also the floor where you get your pizzas and your hot dogs and snacks and things like this. I love this floor. It actually smells like the 80s. I can't describe it. When you walk in, it's so amazing. But it is littered. It's teeming with 80s arcade machines, and it actually sounds like the 80s when you're in there because everything's obviously going off all at once. But if I really were to list them all, I could be here all day. There really were loads, and it does speak for itself. when you just look around at all the awesome. So I'm not going to talk too much here, we'll just have a little look and enjoy the aesthetics of this amazing place. Another positive about attending the arcade club is I was pleasantly surprised at how reasonably priced everything was. So the entry fees were very, very reasonable for a full day on a Saturday, and also the food prices and the drinks prices. Very, very impressed with the food. The pizzas tasted homemade, stone baked. They were great. Didn't have a hot dog or a burger, though I did try some last time, and they were very good. And then of course there's a selection of drinks, from alcoholic to non-alcoholic drinks, so there was plenty to choose from. There wasn't anything that I didn't think I wouldn't like, and yeah, I just found it very, very reasonable, very affordable. Surprisingly as well, I mean, it was very busy on a Saturday in terms of the facilities that are there. It was very clean, and I was very pleasantly surprised because, of course, it was packed with kids. So on a Saturday, I think there was a birthday party going on when we attended, so very, very surprised that it was kept in clean order. Looks like whoever's keeping it clean, it's well attended. So that was a very good positive. My only criticism, I would say, of the day is that there were more machines than I expected not working, which was disappointing. But again, for a place of this size, it must be incredibly difficult to manage all of these machines, especially when you've got this place running quite regularly. I don't know whether it's almost every day, but certainly it must be a difficult thing to maintain. A lot of the light guns that we did have a go on with some of the games, one of them would work, the other would not, so that was a little bit of a letdown, but I wasn't disappointed because there was lots to play. So again, a small criticism, but overall, you know, it's understandable for a place of this size. That's all I'm saying. It's wonderful. You keep going back up and down through the floors, and every time you come back to one of those floors, you spot something that you've missed. And I knew Toki was there, which is one of Jim's favourite games to play in the arcade, and next to Robocop. I'd say Robocop is his absolute favourite, but he must have walked past Toki about 4 times before he actually saw it and had a little play. So yeah, it's great to go back, have a little wander, have a walk around again, and see what you missed. Because when you're walking down one area, one of the things that Jim said is you're looking down one sort of row of arcade machines and you're missing everything that's on the other side. So, you know, you can go back time and time again and spot something that you missed before. So massive shout out to my Auntie Karen and my Uncle Paul, who gave us a wonderful gift that allowed us to fund this trip to Bury. So we wouldn't have been coming today if it wasn't for them. We managed to stop over as well. We had some food here. We've had a great time. So big massive thanks for them for allowing this to happen. So thank you very much, guys. We love you to pieces. Anyway, it was an absolutely wonderful experience. We had a fantastic time. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been to the arcade club in Bury, or if you've been to any of the other arcade clubs. I'd love to hear your experiences, what you found about the place. Definitely worthwhile visiting. It's a beautiful part of the country, lovely people. We had a fantastic time and we'll definitely be going back. Anyway, don't forget to hit like. Please subscribe, let me know in the comments, it really helps me out. So do tell me if you have enjoyed watching this video, and if you'd like to see more videos of me going out and about and sharing these memories with you. Anyway, have a great day, see you all again soon.